Today, we're revealing something extraordinary, the first compiled Hebrew Gospels of John. Now, for centuries, most of us have only known the King James Greco-English translation. When I say Greco-English, I mean it was primarily translated from what was existing of the Greek manuscript of the time. And so that's kind of how we're able to, to easily compare what the Greek and the Hebrew Gospels are. So watch how the familiar, what I call black and white King James, suddenly explodes into full, vibrant color through the Hebrew manuscript. So John 1:1, the Hebrew Gospel says, "In the beginning was the Word, the divine utterance, the Son of Eloah. And the Word was with Elohim, and the Son was the fullness of Elohim, and Elohim was the Word." Now, when I first got saved, the first thing I ever read was, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And that's what we see in the King James. But for centuries, we've only seen it in black and white. But now, stepping into the Hebrew Gospels, it explodes into vibrant color. And I'm excited about that. It declares right from the start, "In the beginning was the Son of Eloah."
Here's a musical excerpt from these first four verses as lyrics and music written by Janet Felt. In the beginning. This is beautiful. You're going to love it.
In the beginning was the Word, the divine utterance.
For this purpose, all things were created by His hands, and through Him came everything into being. Not even one thing that has been created was made without Him, apart from the Master. Without His witness and testimony.
It's all about beginnings here. And Janet, this was a beautiful music that we were able to hear. And we want to definitely talk about the rest of what's beginning. Because in the beginning is Genesis 1:1. So, Jim, why don't you tell us a little bit about Genesis 1:1, and then we'll talk about Revelation chapter 1.
So in Genesis 1:1, Bereshit bara et ha Elohim. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And I love that. And the Hebrew word et, some people see a supernatural prophetic utterance. It's the letter Aleph and Tav in Hebrew. Where do we see the Aleph and Tav? We see that at the end of book of Revelation, where Yeshua says, in Greek it says, "I am the Alpha and Omega." But in Hebrew it says, "I'm the Aleph and the Tav."
Yes, and you'll read that in our new book, which
The red letter.
has it right, the red letter edition, and it actually has it in red letters, which is really even cooler. But that's what I was wanting to get to, was in Revelation, we also get that kind of the key, I think, that when Yeshua says, "I am the first and the last, the beginning and the end. I am, I was, I am, and I always will be." We get that declaration from the Father. We get that declaration from Yeshua the Son, right there in Revelation chapter 1. So here's Dr. Jones sharing about this.
Now, we were already at Revelation 1:8, and I skipped over to the name of God, but you can see there all these phrases are used to represent the sacred name of God. I am the Aleph and the Tav. In Greek, that would be I am the Alpha and Omega, is considered a title of the Almighty. The first and the last, says Yehovah Elohim, who is, who was, and who will be, the Almighty. This is not just a phrase that stands for the sacred name of God Himself. I am the Aleph and the Tav actually is the phrase used for the alphabet. So Yehovah is saying to us that He is the alphabet. Yes, it's also an analogy. By extension, he is the beginning and the end, the first and the last, and everything in between, the totality of existence. And that is true. But more specifically, he's talking about he is the one that gave us the alphabet. The alphabet, not the first type of writing. There was pictographic writing, the Egyptians, and the cuneiform. Well, Babylon was originally pictographic, but then it became very abstracted. So they were around, right? But alphabetic writing made it so simple, it would be very easy for someone to learn it. There's only 22 letters, and you can write anything you want in your language. It is an idea whose time had come. And once it began with the Semites, with the Hebrews, it spread to every culture that encountered it, adopted it, and adapted it to their own language. And they all started with the Hebrew. Now, some people will say, no, the Greeks actually started it. They did not start it. And if you'll think about it, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, in Greek, it's Alpha, Beta, Delta. Does that sound familiar? All the names come from the Hebrew alphabet. The order comes from the Hebrew alphabet. The actual shape of the letters themselves come from the Hebrew alphabet. So the Greeks did not, or Phoenicians, they did not invent the alphabet. It was invented by the Hebrews and passed to every region that they encountered, eventually the entire world. Was the book of Revelation written in Hebrew? All linguists who studied the subtext agree. Now we have translated it from surviving Hebrew manuscripts, and we have put it into the book, the Hebrew Book of Revelation. It's available to you now for the first time. I am the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, says Yehovah Elohim. Get yours at thewritingofgod.com. That's thewritingofgod.com. It's here for the first time ever, a compilation of the original Gospel of Matthew that has been translated from all the extant Hebrew manuscripts of the Gospel that we have searched the world to find the actual words of Yeshua from the Hebrew right here in this book. Get yours at writingofgod.com.
So, Jim, Dr. Jones has shared this, and he's got a full study, a full course on this, on the book of Revelation. And you'll want to get that, and you can get copies of that, find out how you can order that on livingroots.tv. So if you go to www.livingroots.tv, we'll have that in our store, and you can grab that.
That we're just now beginning to dig in. And as we go along with this week by week, so many more beautiful things are going to unfold to us.
There's more to episode 2 of this podcast, and you'll see it at www.livingroots.tv. So go to livingroots.tv, the link is below, and we'll have the entire podcast with special music from Janet Feld and an interview with her of what inspires her. See the entire podcast on livingroots.tv. That's www.livingroots.tv. See the link below or in the description, and you can see more of the entire podcast on Living Roots.
Living roots, drawing us closer to your love.
What is the Revelation of the Month Club? Well, let me tell you. The Hebrew Gospels are the most important biblical discovery since the Dead Sea Scrolls. It took 40 years for scholars to get those published and out to the public. If you're graduating high school, getting your first job, you would be in retirement before all the Dead Sea Scrolls were published. We cannot let that happen with the Hebrew Gospels. But to get them out there, we need your help. That's what the Revelation of the Month Club does. We translate these manuscripts. I was called to go and find the manuscripts of the Hebrew Gospels. At the time, some more than a decade ago, everyone was saying they don't exist. They never existed. We found dozens of the manuscripts, and now we have acquired them. I went to Israel, England, France, Spain, Italy, and now we have members all over the world searching out these manuscripts and getting them for us. And now, as a result of our work, they are starting to be translated. And we don't want you to have to wait. We want to send you chapters of the Hebrew Gospels as soon as they are translated. We want to bring it to your door. For a monthly donation, we will bring these into your home because you're the ones that are making it happen. So we want you to get a first look at everything. These are priceless manuscripts. We've spent untold $1,000 getting them. And the price of doing this and bringing this message to you on video is costly. So with your support, we can make this happen. So go to writingofgod.com right now and become a subscriber to the Revelation of the Month Club and find the Hebrew Gospels in your inbox tomorrow.